I meant to put this video out a few weeks ago, and I'm putting it out now because I'm going to show you something that is going to happen, something that you are going to see in the news in the next 6 months, that because of a video like this, you'll start to understand why. There's been rashes of fires around the country. It seems like they go in waves where you see a bunch of food processing plants on fire, or then you see other types of businesses on fire or getting destroyed, or you see rail cars. All of a sudden, it's like every other day there's a rail car incident, right? Well, there's a rash of structure fires that are about to happen, and they've already started, quite frankly. One just happened in San Francisco. But what I want to do before I tell you about that, I want to tell you about a documentary that I thought was amazing as a firefighter myself. And it was a film crew that followed an engine company in Detroit, Michigan. And it was entitled Burn. The reason why it's such a significant documentary to watch, not only amazing from the firefighters aspect of life as a firefighter, but it was a very interesting time in our history of economics in our country. You see, when this film was made, people were lighting their homes on fire after the Great Recession. Things were so bad, things were so bleak. People could not rent their homes, they could not sell their homes, they were worthless, they were run down. And especially after looking at the city, Detroit itself, a mere nothing compared to what it used to be when the automotive industry was in its heyday, right? After the auto industry left Detroit, it fell into a depression. Regardless of what was going on in the economy of the nation, the following decades, Detroit was in a very serious depression and very hard to pull itself out. Well, after the Great Recession, people started lighting their homes on fire like crazy. And my heart goes out to them, but boy, they must have had a lot of fun. At the same time, the Detroit firefighters were faced with an incredible, incredible job, and that was constantly running these arson fires. Well, we're about to witness something, I believe, on a scale similar to that, but around the nation, and that is in the commercial real estate space. I believe that you are going to see very desperate developers, lenders, investors do everything they can to save projects that are completely dead. We are going to see large-scale commercial apartment complexes, malls, developments have problems and be destroyed, looking for insurance money. I believe that what we saw in the Great Recession in Detroit of structure fires happening, structure fires taking down these homes, I believe we're going to see that in the commercial real estate space. I believe that we are going to see these happen, and it's going to be like, oh, it was an electrical fault. It was an employee that did something wrong, an accident. Because a lot of these developers have completely shut down in their minds. They cannot gain new funding because interest rates are so high, or banks are starting to pull back on their available credit, that they don't just loan money out to any project. Developers that are getting close to the construction being done, they no longer can pencil the project out because interest rates and fees have gotten so exorbitant that the project will lose money even at 100% of the units being rented. I believe that you're going to see desperation on a totally different scale. And what I'm asking is that my subscribers, a lot of subscribers on this channel, work in law enforcement and in fire. I don't know why. I guess we're all just sort of the same when it comes to our personalities. But I would like for you to share those stories with me, because they're going to go very, very unreported. They'll be reported by local news stories, like news companies, but they will not be on the national news, because no one in the national news is either bright enough or wants to put out the truth that there is a trend going on. And you see, that's what I've been involved with ever since I learned how economies go through cycles. I became a cycles investor in 2010 when I started to realize there was a reason why I knew about the dot-com crash ahead of time. I knew about the real estate bust in the Great Recession, the mortgage-backed securities ahead of time. And now we're in the greatest one of them all. Before, it was a stock market bubble, then it was a real estate bubble. Now we are in a currency bubble, which blew up everything. It caused everything to go up, and now everything is imploding right now before your eyes. And one of the evidence of what I've been showing you for years is going to happen in the next 6 months. The pressure is building and mounting, and it is too much for developers, investors, third-party companies that work with pension funds to handle. And you're going to start to see more and more of these large-scale structure fires of newly built properties. I tell you this now as a time marker so that you'll be able to go back when you're seeing the news and you're going, I saw this on the Ninja channel. And it's not because it's who's right or wrong, which I think we should always be striving for being right. There's so many people in this world that make calls about economics on CNBC, or people that work for their own private companies that make money off of telling you which way it's going to go, and they're always wrong. There's also people that never make a call. They stay super safe and they just play both edges. Well, I'm not a fence sitter. I don't sit on the fence. I pick a side and I stand by what I say. And that's why I want to tell you this now, as not only a firefighter, but as an investor. A lot of these fires, they don't just happen. As a matter of fact, no fire just happens. There's always an external issue. There's either environmental or a human factor. That's it. There's always something that causes the fire. It's either environmental, could be a short, could be a surge, or it could be human. The point being is that as I say this, and I believe that there are people all over the country working in city jobs that are amazing men and women, great at their job, and just seeing this video may cause them on the next structure fire that they have to investigate, or the next structure fire that they respond to as a police officer first, they start immediately putting their head on a swivel and look around at the crowd, look around at what's going on, collect the data, and save the evidence a little bit better, a little cleaner this time, because they're gonna start to see these around the nation. And there's a reason for this. And things like this are what cause your insurance premiums to go up, because as the insurance companies have to pay these big hefty sums, we're talking tens of millions of dollars each one, they have to press or push that extra cost, that burden on them as a company on you. And so I want people to see this, so not only to protect ourselves financially, but also to protect our minds and know there's a reason why all these are burning down all at once. And I got a pretty good feeling that by January, we're going to see a lot of these. And so I'm going to put my neck on the line, and I wanted to make that call and do that video. So if you're new to this channel and you see this and you want to see if I'm right or wrong, well, click the subscribe button and stick around. But I do tell you this with a heavy heart, because it's great and fun to make money from these cycles, but it's also horrible to see people losing everything they've worked really hard for. I was friends with a lot of people that own construction companies in 2008, and they heard me scream and yell and warn, and I was the crazy guy in 2006. And I watched them all lose everything they had. Not for a lack of trying, but it was for a lack of knowledge. And that's what we need in our country right now, a lack of knowledge. I want to thank Tyler for the super chat. I want to thank all of you guys for being such amazing supporters of this channel. I could not do this without you. Truly, truly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Have a great day. The Economic Ninja is out.